start our today's discussion, and our topic for the day is making money as a small business. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes,
can
we
you
can.
see my...
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
Great. So this is what we've been discussing. We've done introductions and beautifully business introductions by 5 of our entrepreneurs. And now we'll discuss about making money as a small business. After that, we have a guest speaker, Kenneth Cheriot, from the Micro and Small Enterprise Authority, MSEA. He'll be telling us what support and business opportunities government is giving to small businesses in Kenya. And then we'll have a Q&A session. As we move along, feel free to drop your question in the chat. We'll have a session for that. So my name is Rachel Ndungu. I'm the CEO of Biashara Africa, and I'll be taking you through the discussion on making money as a small businesses. Now, I'm personally an entrepreneur, so I would ask that this session becomes a more interactive session, because this is what we do on a daily basis. So where you feel you have succeeded or you're doing it very well, please feel free to share with others. That's the best way we learn. We learn from each other and from our experiences. So as I mentioned, Kenneth Cheriot is our guest. He will talk to us about business opportunities for small businesses. Now, I thought we should start with this quote: "Money is plentiful for those who understand the simple laws which govern its acquisition." That's a quote from George Clason, author of The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, when we talk about making money as a small business, what do we mean? Okay, may I request that we remain muted, please? Okay, lovely. When we talk about making money as a small business, yeah, okay, thank you. As a small business, what exactly do we mean? We mean increased sales or turnover, increased number of customers, increased profit, increased average transaction size, and we'll see what all this mean as we go along. Increased frequency of transactions per customer. And lastly, increased friends. All right, I thought we should start with this slide before we look at the ways of increasing our or growing our money as small businesses. Why are customers important? Because we mentioned about customer, and as a key component of today's discussion. And as we go through this slide, I will request all of us, because almost all of us are in business, to list. This will be a discussion, and it will be practical, because after this, we want to apply what we learn to grow our businesses. I would like us to list 5 of our customers. Write their names. Just have somewhere, list 5 of your customers. Please also, let's remain muted. Let's list 5 of our customers. Five of our customers. This is important, so I'll give you a minute. Please list 5 of your customers. Then as we go along, I'll tell you what to do with that. If you're planning to start your business, list potential customers that you're looking at. I'm sure you, at the back of your mind, you have particular people you'll be targeting. Please list them as well. Are we done? Let's list 5 of our customers. Write their names. You don't need to write their full names, but list 5 names of, okay, I can see. Abwati says we are done. Perfect. I believe we're all done. Nice. So now we have a list of 5 of our customers. Why is this important? I'll just talk about 3. I'll just pick 3 of the numbers here. 65% of your sales will come from your existing customers. Existing customers are 50% more likely than prospects to try out your products. And the last one that we read is that repeat customers spend an average of 31% more than first-time customers. Okay, now we have a list of 5 of our customers. Let's look at ways of making money as a small business with a shoestring budget, with almost no budget or very minimal budget. And we look at 20 ways. So we'll go very fast. The first one, we're saying cross-sell and upsell. You have your 5 customers. Those are just a few of your customers. How do you do this? You sell more products to your existing customers. Or you may also sell a slightly expensive product to your existing customer. We call that upselling. So means if your customer spends 500, you could consider selling an additional benefit that is higher or proposing them to upgrade to a premium product or a more expensive product. So we had someone who bakes cakes. So if your customers are only asking for birthday cakes, possibly you'd recommend cakes for other occasions, right? Or you'd also recommend other accompaniments of cakes. It could be a card, it could be flowers, right? Or it could even be other pastries. So that way you're selling more to your customers and making more money. Let's go to the next one. Increase the frequency of transactions per customer. Now, in this case, if your customers come to you, you own a salon and they only come once a week, or you sell, and this is a case I thought I should put it here, because a lady who sells me fish, I used to buy fish for the whole month. Then one time she proposed that I should consider her new product where she's marinating fish with coconut. Now, I'm from the coast, so that's a big deal for me. Someone marinating fish with coconut, I was like, what? And she was like, I do this on Fridays. So guess what? I have my monthly order for fish for the whole month. Then I thought to myself, we should be getting fish on Fridays. At least that will remind me back home, coconut fish. So that's a good way of increasing frequency of transactions. So have a way of encouraging them instead of just purchasing once a month. Maybe propose an additional benefit for them to come more often. All right, third one, consider customer loyalty program. Near where I live, we used to have a grocery store. And every time I went to purchase, I used to get points, 1 point per 100 shillings spent. The same loyalty programs we have at the supermarkets. Now, they were not digitized. So I had my card there. And every time I went, he would indicate how many points I have earned. Now, that's a very good way of doing it. Simple way. You can even have a record list to your customers. Every time they come, if they spend 1,000, they earn 10 points. And then you convert those 10 points later, maybe to a discount. After some time when they come, instead of paying 1,000, they pay 800. Now, that way, you will also be rewarding your customers and encouraging them to make repeat purchases and also to retain your customers. So customer loyalty is a good thing, and it may not cost you much. The other one, everyone likes being told thank you. Why not show gratitude to your customers for their support? Maybe send a card, and you can even send online. You can send on their Instagram, DM them, or send them on WhatsApp, or email them. Just a card, and you can just have one card that you send to them every time. This is important because your happy clients will talk to other people who are your potential customers. This is a sample card. Now, we also provide these cards that you can use, and we'll share after this. If you don't have a way of doing a card, we have various varieties we can share, and every time a customer makes a purchase, you can send them a soft copy. If you want the same customized, we have Biashara Studio. You can ask that a card is customized so that it has your name, and then you can be sending that card to all your customers, thanking them for you for purchasing your products. Now, the other thing is asking for referrals. This is easier said than done. Have you ever asked your customers to refer you to their friends and family? Be courteous when you're doing this. Don't sound like you're entitled or you have the best services, and ask from your satisfied and happy customers. The other thing you could do is possibly ask them to bring a friend for a deal. Like I see restaurants asking want to bring a friend, you have food for two, and you pay for one. You could call it bring a friend. Or if you are in home decor and you sell accessories, maybe ask your happy customers next time when they're coming, why don't you come with a friend? And I'll give you a discount or this benefit. So this is a good way of growing your customers. The other one is improving your online presence. Please be online. Just start somewhere. You could have a website. An easier way is to start by having social media platforms. All of you are joining this call on WhatsApp. So why not start even with a WhatsApp catalog? List your products there. Have your products listed in catalogs. These are some of the opportunities we have. Every Monday, we post this on our social media platforms, encouraging buyers and consumers to consider buying from a small business. And Biashara Africa has a small business catalog where we list small businesses and their products. The only requirement is you need to have online presence. Either you have WhatsApp catalog, you're on Facebook, Instagram, whichever platform, or you've even listed on marketplaces like Jumia or whichever, but you must have an online presence, you must have existing product, and you must be selling products. It's free to register for this catalog for us to list. In all our campaigns for the Monday, this one I've mentioned, we direct customers to shop from this catalog. It's shopsmallbusiness.co.ke. That's the catalog. So you can list your products there. I'll put the registration link on the chat. The other campaign we have is always in the month of December. We call it Shop at Small Business Month. The entire month we dedicated doing campaigns all over, encouraging buyers and consumers to buy from a small business near their location or from a small business catalog. So this is a good opportunity for you. This was one of the campaigns we did last year in December. We were promoting people in food and beverages. Now if you want to learn also how to promote your presence online, we have a program, we call it E-commerce for Small Businesses program. We also run it once a year, similar to the current program, and we'll have it in November. This is a very good program to attend. It's very practical. We'll be learning about how to market on all social media platforms, including TikTok. And you get good support. It's also sponsored. It's free for you to attend. Now, the other way of making money is working with micro-influencers. And this, we always think, these influencers are expensive. But we are looking at ways that don't require a lot of money or that will not cost you money. In this case, because you already have existing products, you can identify some of the influencers, maybe who are popular on certain platforms. If your customers or on Instagram, look for micro influencers on Instagram. Talk to them. You can DM them. You don't need to know them. Tell them, this is what I sell. And I can see you host a certain live show or live Instagram live this day, and you discuss this. I would like to give you my attire to wear, and then you can appreciate me during your show, because when they talk about that attire and your business, they're increasing your visibility. Also, when they're posting that on their Instagram or whatever platform, they will tag you. So that's a good way of increasing your visibility, and then you get known. I've seen businesses in fitness, fashion, lifestyle, food and beverages, groceries as well. You can decide to give a pack, to this micro influencer, and it doesn't have also to be a micro influencer. I saw one of the small businesses who attended our e-commerce for small business gave one of the presenters of the major TV stations, their product, and during the news time, the presenter acknowledged them. So don't limit yourself. The only thing, because you have limited budget, consider exchanging for a free product. All right, next, attend networking events. Even like this one, when we were starting, I asked 5 of you to introduce yourselves and what you do. You just never know who's, in these meetings. So in addition to you learning from our session, there are also good networking sessions for you. So participate in, even in your counties, look at business events, attend them. Look at trade shows, exhibitions to connect with customers, also people within your industry as well. This will promote your brand or your business and will increase your visibility and increase your sales. Now, we just did our awards and some of you participated. We have our upcoming ceremony, which will be on 29th of September. I'm also inviting you because this will be a good networking event for you. Next is exhibiting or showcasing your products at local events. Now, I want to stop there because I know we listed 5 of our customers and we've talked about a number of ways of making money. So on your sheet of paper where you just wrote your customers, could you identify any of the customer that you got from an exhibition, a networking forum, or where you went to showcase your products, or a referral from your happy customers? Could you look at that and just tick? Allow me to give you 30 minutes, 30 seconds to do that. Just what we've learned. Is there any of your customer you got from the various strategies we looked at? 30 seconds. We say today's session will be an interactive one. It's a practical one. I can see Bernard done. We are done. Perfect. So those who have just come, when you are starting, we agreed to list 5 of our customers. So if you've just come, please, I would encourage you to list 5 of your customers. Today's session is very practical, so that you also benefit from today's session. Now, next, we are discussing about exhibition showcases for your products. So this doesn't have to be expensive. Even in our programs, some cases we have free events where small businesses are invited to exhibit. or showcase their products at no cost. So by you being here, this is already a resource for you. So just look at local events at the county level, at the national, other counties near where you live, at national level. What events have opportunities for you to showcase your products by maybe getting a table or a booth? While you're in those, when you get that opportunity, also think, how do you attract people to visit your booth or your stand or your table? You know, you may offer promotions, you may offer discounts, encouraging them to come there, and that will increase your ability and sales. These are some of the opportunities. We always pick opportunities that are relevant to small businesses that we've given you an opportunity to utilize. We also have product showcases for small businesses. And these are some of the small businesses we showcased last month. Entice Decor from Kisumu, Candle of Hope Beauty Clinic from Nakuru, Fire Organics from Nairobi County, Salidi Skin Care from Nairobi County, and we had Noela's Tailoring Enterprises from Migori County. So I'll also put the link on the chart for those who want to showcase. This one, we charge 500 to chart that, and you get these posters which you can keep using even in future. All right, the next strategy is increasing sales by collecting credit fast. How many of us keep a record of the customers who owe us money, or it's all in our heads? You know, we know it in our heads. When you wake up and you're broke, that's the time you remember certain customer hasn't paid you. Now, that's not the best thing. We always encourage you to have a record of customers that owe you. Now, also consider to encourage customers to pay you first. Encourage them to pay you after the service or before the service. Maybe offer a discount or a certain benefit when they do that. And if they want credit, can you charge an additional fee? Like if they want to pay next week or at the end of the month, maybe they pay 5% more or 10% more. But I want to encourage you to attend this session. We'll have a session discussing how to manage customers and customers' debt. And we'll have providers in that area. Instead of you giving credit to customers directly, why don't you allow another provider to extend that credit to them so that you earn 100%, right? So you're paid by this provider 100%, and then they follow up with your customers. There are better ways of managing credit. So please attend this session. It will be on 23rd. Now, I want to stop there, and I want you to reflect on, I want to stop there. And I would like you to reflect on how you managed credit, because this is a big issue even next as we discuss financing options next week. So I want to give you 30 seconds. Are we done? Someone give me a heads up on the chat that we are done. Okay. Yeah, I can see Moses, we are done. All right. Managing customer debt is a critical aspect of your business, so we can't ignore this. Now let's move to the next one. This may sound very obvious. Make it easy for your customers to pay. Offer variety and relevant payment options. Some parts of this country, if you start telling people to pay using cards, they look at you and wonder what's the problem with you, right? So what is relevant to you? Like, do your customers like paying using M-Pesa or cash? Cash is also very common almost everywhere. So, but you can also decide as a business, I don't receive cash. You have to pay me using M-Pesa or whichever mobile network. Yeah. So just have the relevant methods of payment. Now, next week, we'll also be looking at ways of getting paid, and we'll have providers from the mobile, from cards, on how you can make it easier for these businesses to pay. For example, if you're in furniture, like I went to buy a furniture a while back, and this furniture was it costing about 30,000, and the person even didn't have M-Pesa. You know, so they were like, kuna M-Pesa mahali na hapo, enda na hapo utoe, you know. So an easier way, and I was just thinking, is it worth the hassle? You know, so make it easy for customers to pay. It may look very obvious, but it's never obvious. So we look at that on 30th of August, ways of getting paid and payment options. The other one, maintain business records. Why is this important? Because it helps you get to know how you're spending the money, understand your financial transactions, also understand whether you are charging the right price for your products. Also, it helps you to plan, to budget. The other thing is that by maintaining business records, it instills confidence in investors. We said next week we'll be talking about financing options. We'll be looking at grants. We'll be looking at all the financing options, and we'll have guest speakers. One, we have Maurice, who is also is attending today's session. He'll be talking about grants. He'll also talk about the grants they offer. We'll also have someone else talk about loans, debt financing. We'll also have someone talk about equity financing. I have some of you, we've been in some classes, and we have investors who want to put money into your businesses, but we feel you're not ready. So please attend this class to understand, if I have investor who want to own a part of my business and pay me money, how does that work, right? So by maintaining business records, it instills confidence in investors and lenders. So you have high chances of securing funding, because most of you have been asking about funding. Now we've covered that in a session on record and bookkeeping. And we'll also have leading players in the industry talk to us about this and the simple ways of doing it. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money or even money. You can start where you are. Now, explore multiple revenue streams. I know some of you have done this. And here, I don't mean you do everything. Everything that you say to be making money, you are there. No, that's not what I mean. There are easier ways of exploring multiple revenue streams. For example, you sell family wear. You could decide, why don't I start a new customer segment and focus on people who go to the gym, or focus on maternity wear, or focus on men's wear, or focus on another market you have not served. You know, so you're still selling your product, it's fashion, but now you have added a new customer segment. So you're exploring multiple revenue streams. The other way you could increase revenue streams is charge third parties, people who do furniture. You have machines that you could let to or rent to other upcoming small businesses within your locality. So instead of them taking a loan to acquire that machine, they can be using your machines when they're idle, and then you charge them a fee. So there you'll be making money. Also, if, for example, you sell, you're in hardware, So possibly you could also consider offering a service that is complementary to that from your third parties or partners, and then for every sale made, you could charge a fee on that. The other way is promoting your expertise. If you sell beauty products, you could possibly educate us on how to do makeup. And then you do these short videos, or you even do a webinar like this, brief ones, teach us how to do makeup. And even nowadays, men do makeup, minimal, I presume. Maybe focus on men. Show them even how do you shave your, beards at home, or if you're focusing on women, how do you do makeup, and then that way you also sell now your makeup. If there are events where they would require a specialist in this area, you're likely to be called, is it? So promoting your expertise is a good way to diversify your revenue streams. The other way, and the very obvious, is partner with each other. We had a showcase which we streamlined online, and we had two businesses that decided to work with each other. So just consider and look at business that has complementary product, not a competing business, right? So if you're in beauty services like a salon or a barber shop, maybe you could partner with a small business that sells beauty products, and then you can stock that in your salon. And then both of you can cross-promote each other's products. Now, in that case, the salon owner will access customers from the beauty product seller, and the vice versa. So that way, you grow your business. Manage business finances. This is important. We can't underestimate it. Even when you're looking for financing, we will look at this. So this is a must to manage your finances, and I'll not talk much about it because we'll have the last session of this program on 13th of September. We'll discuss on how to manage finances as a small business. I'm almost done. Consider external additional financing. Now, when you've covered all the strategies we talked about, you will definitely, with time, record growth, and growth that would support you to get financing, whether it's grant, and you'll be ready to get grants, whether it's loans or to get an investor or trade financing or other options. We'll be looking at that next Wednesday. So at this point, now it would add value for you to consider external financing. And now we mentioned we have that session next week on Wednesday, same time, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. This is a must to attend session for every small business. At Biashara Africa, we also offer loans. I'm sure most of you are aware of that, so you can apply. But I would encourage you to attend the session first before you apply the loan, because chances of your loan being approved will be higher. From experience, we've noted that people who have gone through this program have higher chances of getting grants, having their loan approved, and other sources of financing. So I really encourage that you block your calendar every Wednesday from 10 to 11:30 for the next now 5 weeks, remaining 5 weeks. We'll end on 13th of September. Always we'll be using the same link you used today. Now, allow me to propose this to you as a small business, that you support social causes. One of our small businesses in Nairobi operates a salon. So what they decided is to support women who are going through chemotherapy, who have cancer and they're going through chemotherapy. When you're going through chemotherapy, you lose your hair, is it? So what they did is they were offering free services if you needed weaving. So you just buy the weave, you go to their salon, and they would fix that for you at no cost. So they continued doing that, and these groups and organizations that support women, survivors of cancer, or women going through this journey of chemotherapy, gotten involved, and they would direct the women to that salon. After some time, these women start asking, why do I need to buy my weave? And I'm not even sure which weave to buy. Why can't you stock it here? I just come here, I will buy, you fix it for me. Today, they have grown their clientele, and they are also selling the weave, the weaves. Men, in case you don't understand, you can see the lady on the photo. So that's a wig well fixed, and you can't tell that she doesn't have hair, right? Yes. So you could consider that. You could also start from where you are, from your community. Whether you go to church or mosque, or you have county groupings, get involved there. Now we are doing a lot of tree planting. Why not get involved? Go plant trees with other business people, with your community members, with your potential customers. Take nice photos, post them on your social media platforms so that we can see you're supporting social causes. So you have to get involved in whichever way, whether it's school where your children goes to and they have a social cause, they are cleaning the city, get involved there, do something. And then also remember to post it on your social media platforms. Now at Biashara Africa, we support this social responsibility project called Fibroid Center. This is inspired by my struggles with fibroids. So I decided, why don't we start a platform that educates women about fibroids and connects them to gynecologists. So from time to time, we have awareness webinars. Last year, we had free screening for fibroids for 3 months. And we continue having this. And this initiative currently is supported by Avenue Healthcare or Hospital and Old Mutual. So you can start where you are and keep growing that. Now, I'm almost done. Apply for business awards and competitions. Biashara Africa just closed a call for applications for the Small Business Awards 2023. We run these awards, and these awards are to appreciate small businesses that are making impact in their communities, whether they're creating jobs, improving livelihoods, giving very good products that are value adding to their communities. We want to recognize them because we noted no one was recognizing you. So business awards are a great opportunity because they allow you to boost your credibility as a business. They give you visibility. Like in our case, we had about 500 who applied. We'll be picking the top and we'll list them on our social media platforms. All who applied, we'll also invite them for sessions to train them because they're also indicating their gaps, what support they need. So we'll be helping them with that, even if they don't win the awards. So that's, and that will be at no cost. So they'll also have free visibility. Some awards would also give grants in addition to that. So I'd encourage you to just apply for this awards. Next, for those who are locked out, I know we got a number of requests to extend. We were not able to extend, and we'll be announcing the winners in September. Next year, when we open the call for Small Business Awards, we hope to have all of you participate. This is an open award call. You could consider applying. This is by one of our partners, KEPSA, and it has 3 categories for women, youth, and it has an overall category. Now, Biashara Africa has partnered with Africa's Business Heroes. This is a project, an initiative by Jack Ma, the entrepreneur from China. I'm sure all of us know Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. So he runs this initiative where he awards African entrepreneurs. It's also an award, but they also give grants to the top 10. And why we partnered with them is because we want to give small businesses an opportunity to get these grants. Also an opportunity to be showcased at an African stage. Now, I'm also a judge on the same, but I don't judge for Kenya, unfortunately. So after this, don't tell me, I want to be on that list. But I would encourage you that next year, for this year it has closed. For next year, you prepare. We'll have an information session to just educate you on what to look at when you apply. But our hope is that next year or the year, we'll have qualifying participants from our community of small businesses, and we'll support you the much we can. All right, so I'm done. We've covered 20 ways of making money. You can connect with us so that every time we have opportunities or events for small businesses, then you get to know. Our main channel, we mostly communicate via WhatsApp as well as email. So be checking on the two. But I would encourage you to connect with us on social media platforms so that whenever we have an opportunity and we share it on those platforms, then you get to learn about them and grab them because they're meant for you. So thank you so much. That was a good discussion. I know you have your questions. Please put them on the chat. Now, as we make money, we want to learn what are the business opportunities for small businesses? What business opportunity has the government created that small business can benefit from? And that's why we invited our guest speaker, Kenneth Cheriot, who is the technical advisor, resource mobilization from Micro and Small Enterprises Authority, MSEA. MSEA is the government entity whose responsibility is to support micro and small businesses in Kenya, like yourselves. So we have the right person. And now I would like to invite Kenneth Cheriot to take us next session. Please have your notebooks or your iPad and your pen ready to take notes. This is where you need to listen because this is for you. Kenneth, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. Hope I'm clear.
Yes, you are.
All right. Now, good morning, everyone. As I've been introduced, my name is Kenneth Chiriot. And for those who doubt, they can have a look at my face briefly. Then I'll turn off the camera. You'll allow me to do that.
That's fine.
All right. Now, my talk will be split into three sections. Number one is opportunity. To be more academic, it's so sad that Rachel has gone ahead of me and she's made it home. My first session will be more academic. We will look at a few areas on where the small businesses can make money and some discipline on money. I'll also, of course, introduce my authority, that is the organization, and I'll run through presentations. And the first presentation is actually to introduce myself. Let me sell myself first, and then, of course, we can do the business for today. So basically, this is a generic slide, but I'll explain most of it as we go ahead. Just a moment. I hope my screen can be viewed. So the micro and small enterprises is established by an act of parliament, that is the MSC Act of 2012. It has the mandate of promoting, developing, and regulating the micro and small enterprise, what we call the small businesses in Kenya. It is domiciled under the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSME Development, and we are under the State Department of MSME Development. If you recall,
Kenneth, Kenneth, may I request you to put it and slideshow?
Yeah. Moment. Yes. Okay, just a moment. Is that okay?
Yes, perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So we were previously under the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade. we were moved under the executive order number 1 of 2022. So we have our key services and programs as an organization. We enhance value addition by implementing what we call both the product development and business development services. We do infrastructure development, and basically we have 3 things. Number 1, we have what we call CIDCs, that is the Constituency Industrial Development Centers. Some of you have seen. We have work sites inherited as Juakali work sites, so we call them MSC work sites at the moment. And finally, we have cold room facilities that are in 3 counties at the moment. We have one in Nyandarua, that is in Olkalau. We have one in Meru, and we have one in Kisii. Those are for the post-harvest. We targeted banana value chain and potato value chain. We do formalization and we do registration of micro and small enterprises. As we had told you that we are an MSC regulator. Technically, what we do, we have a database for all the MSCs, and I hope, and especially there is a gentleman from Busia, Ojamba, I believe you are our member. So, is that okay? So, other than that, we do capacity building. There's some kindly mute. There's someone talking, kindly mute. Yes, but we do training and we coach MSCs. We provide market linkages also, that is locally, the same way as Biashara Africa, and we do it in the East African market. I believe we are heading to Burundi, and Rachel, we need to discuss this offline. We need to look for money to take a number of MSCs there. We enhance access to finance. That is based on our database. Number 1, we provide a database for the MSCs to access the Hustler Fund, that is a financial inclusion fund. I know questions will come around that, and I'm ready to tackle that. And then, of course, we have a number of programs that target the youth. And one of them is KYOP, that is Kenya Youth Employment Opportunities Project, which was yesterday upscaled to all the 47 countries. So under a program called Nyota, that is it's more or less the same. So it was upgraded. So the youth that are here, of ages between 18 and 29, you do not have anything past the O level. There is hope because we have a project that is coming. I believe we'll still touch on that as we move ahead. We had a number of programs that have been running, and one is with the World Bank, that is the KYOP, the one I've mentioned. We've done a digital literacy program with the Stanbic Foundation and UNDP. We've done a BC, it was called a BC project. We did that also. We did capacity building and financial literacy program under the Young Africa Works, which was funded by Equity Bank, Equity Bank and Equity Group Foundation. That one ran in a number of counties, and most youth are actually interacted with that. We've also partnered with the UNDESA. We've partnered with the UNDP. That is people who actually gave us the registrar management system, and we did a capacity building program with the CFC Stanbic in 4 counties. That is Laikipia, Nakuru, Kisumu, and I believe Meru is in course. So technically, the KYOP, which is one of our grant programs, it previously was giving about 40,000 shillings. That is as a grant. So it was a program that targeted the youth between the age of 18 and 29. And further on, it went to give a seed capital for any project that was viable after training on business development services, that is BDS, and understanding how to run a business. These ran in 17 counties, and I had said it is being upscaled as from, I believe, this month to 47 counties. Technically, those are the Cape milestones. I don't need to go through that. Infrastructure, that is infrastructure support. This is within the MSc policy of 2020. We have an MSc policy that guides us. We know the challenges that the MSCs and the small businesses face, and then the policy statement are carved out of this for us to at least give solutions. The CIDCs is one of the projects that was done under the economic stimulus programs, and in all the initial 210 counties that were mapped out, then we had the CIDCs developed. We are yet to develop another, I think, 72, if I'm not wrong, to actually cover the remaining constituencies that were added under the the Constitution amendment of 2010. The aim for the CIDCs here is to promote appropriate technologies for MSCs. We looked at the adaptation to technology, common user machines, lower production cost. I want to say this, that these are facilities that are provided for by the government. So the value chains that are created by the MSCs, the aggregation projects that you run down there, you access these at almost zero cost. We have shared equipment in the CIDCs. We have lathe machines. It is upon each and every MSC, each and every small business to exploit a nearby CIDC, explore a nearby CIDC, and see what you can achieve out of it. So technically, that is an example of a CIDC. This one is in a place called Londiani in Kericho County. This one it has milk. Has a milk cooler. It has a milk processor and has a honey value addition chain. So this one has water. This one has electricity. This one has everything, and it is provided for by the government. As we move ahead, the world is changing basically towards soft skill. So as we envision a more robust CIDC model, which will provide business advisory, market intelligence in form of research, we look at business incubation, and I like the person, Naomi. There's something about incubation that came out of your business in health, peanuts. Aggregation and market linkages, I had mentioned that and capacity building. The cold storage facility, which most are near completion, and what we are basically seeing is adapting an operation model. We are equipping them at the moment, but the Olkala one I believe is fully equipped. We expect to have business plans, the handling and sorting, staffing and training, and of course the final outcome, we expect a reduction in post-harvest losses, aggregation, aggregation of MSC produce. This is one of the on the left. On your left is the Olkala one, fitted, of course, with the facilities, and it's the same on the right. That is the external side of it. That is an example of those are examples of capacity building sessions that we have as an authority. The market linkage. This was last year at Kampala, and it was graced by our CS and our PS. We had the governor who was Singishu. That was last year. Technically, what we look at in the medium term, that is between now and 2023 and 2027, we look at operationalizing the CIDCs and then the cold room facilities. We look at assisting the MSCs develop their products and aggregating them while creating market linkages. When it comes to capacity building, we want to enhance the value chains of the small businesses. We look at the technical capacity and staff training and development. There is an introduction of digital literacy. This is what we are doing already now, and I think we should document this as part of our progress as an authority, that we are doing digital literacy and utilization of technology. For the market access and linkages, we hope to enhance the local and regional international markets. We utilize technology in marketing the MSC produce and mapping out and promoting aggregation. In the formalization, we continue registering the MSCs. We have the Office of the Registrar of MSCs, the association, and umbrella association. We hope to continue beefing our national database for MSCs for various utilization and for the benefits of the MSCs. We continue to enhance coordination and mainstreaming of the MSC sector. I think that is all for marketing myself, probably, and saying what we do as an organization. And in the next probably 10 minutes, we will go through another presentation. At least focus on this, on the important topic that has brought us today here. I'd say that when Rachel spoke to me, she was very specific on talking about the business opportunities for small businesses. However, in subsequent, in the poster, you saw that we will talk money. So money is what Rachel has covered extensively, and I appreciate that. And I'm going to just try and take a few bites here and there in understanding opportunities, what business opportunities are for the small business. What can we do to enhance? I hope I won't be very theoretic in it while exerting a few local and practical examples. I would want to mention that I'm joined by my colleagues. One is Triza Wamboe, and the other gentleman is Enoch Kimoso, both in the strategy department at the organization. And thank you for the support. That is a team that has made part of this talk valuable. So technically, what do we understand by a business opportunity? I have two definitions, and one definition is what you see on your screen. This can be defined as a needed product or service selling in enough volume, produced cheaply enough, I've repeated that, sorry, to make a profit. So there are three items here. Number one, there has to be a need. So this is what we call demand in economics. The volume has to meet the demand. And however, it has to be cheap enough for you to compete in the market. One of the things that we've noted in the small businesses is that however you have a product, there is a bigger business that has an equivalent product. So they tend to sell cheaply, edging us out of the market. What does this technically mean? It means that the other person gets to produce more and gets the numbers right, and the price comes down. So we cannot compete with them in the market. So the second definition is that it's an idea that has the potential to become a viable enterprise with a place in one or more markets. So you have, first of all, it has to be viable, and then the second thing is that it has to have a market. There are bad ideas and good ideas, but not every good idea is a business opportunity. We are just not that not every good idea is a business opportunity. So the chance is 50% good, and that good idea has another 50% good of being a good business opportunity or a bad business opportunity. What is the difference between opportunity and an idea? An opportunity has a high potential, has a high business potential. It is rooted in logical reason. It is time appropriate. It's aligned to current trends. It has a clear market demand, and it is based on human need. Underline based on human need. That one will come in the next slide. So an idea, on the other hand, may not create a business, cannot create a business. It's often emotional, it's time incoherent, it is not fixed over time. You just have the idea. It's not aligned to any business trends. It's an idea and unclear market demand because it's an idea and it is based on wishes. However, this is the other 50% that we had left out. You can convert good ideas into business opportunities. And we'll explain that how. What are the sources of opportunities? Number one, this world has enough problems for us to create business opportunities. Any business opportunity that aims to solve a problem or to solve a challenge creates creates a business opportunity. I'll give an example. I saw somewhere and I read somewhere about the buttons on the phone. Back in the day, we had those table phones, and two people who are competing for business. They both had business, and these were morgues. So for one person had advertised and the other person had advertised also. But the wife of one of them was working in the exchange, where then one would call to the exchange, the telephone exchange, and then the phone is routed to the person who is required. So the person, the second person's wife wasn't working in exchange, but the first person was working. So every time someone called and asked for the second person, he routed to the first person. The second person realized that all the telephone calls were going to the other person whose wife was working at the exchange. So what did he do? He went ahead, invented a phone with buttons so that you could call directly to the business. That is a problem that he faced, and a business that created the phones that we saw with buttons all the way to whatever the phones we have now, created a business opportunity. And then the second thing is the changes. We have changes in businesses. We have new discoveries. There are new discoveries each and every day. We never had smartphones, for instance, which of course have taken the letters that we used to write. Those are new discoveries. There are new discoveries. You hear, I heard somebody say gluten-free milk. Those are new discoveries. We have people gluten-free cakes. Sorry. Those are new discoveries. We never knew about them. We just ate cake back in the day. We have existing products and services. You look at your comparative and competitive advantage, and of course the talents and the unique knowledge. So for take home and for all of us, it's very good to understand the difference between an innovation and an invention. So probably you can ask around and we can discuss this at the end of the presentation. So for us with existing businesses, what are the sources of opportunities that we have? Number one is diversification. I have seen, I will go back to the peanut butter that was baking, the Tikiti food. You were doing peanut butter, and that was value addition, technically that. And the question they asked is, if you do not take peanut butter, what else do you have? Then they ventured into honey. That is diversification. The second one is a very important one, which is product development and improvement. You need to package your product, and of course, if you can compete, have better packages. An example is the water. There was a company that came with a unique bottling of water a few years ago, and it looked more posh than the ones we had. That was a product that was developed, and it was improved from the normal water bottle we were used to. The other thing is the process re-engineering, looking at the loopholes in the process. You look at how if you're doing from farm to market, where can you improve the time, the turnaround time, where do you improve, where one product not to the other one. The other one is actually value chain creation, and we want to look at this differently in terms of quoting investors and having new partners. You can do integration. If you are the seller, you can partner with someone who is a producer, and that is usually the backward integration. You're the producer. If you are a wholesaler, you can partner with retailers. That is a forward integration. You look at the options that you have. The other thing is new venues, which includes this, marketing. It includes attending all these expos. Look at advertising. There are cheeky ways people advertise, but the end justifies the means. Make it affordable. I like what Biashara Africa is doing for the small businesses. Use those platforms. So how do you identify those business opportunities? Number one, you research and stay informed. You have to understand what goes in the industry, look at the news, look at the developments. For instance, if you're in the grain industry, like the people of Moya producing rice, of the Ukraine, understand what goes on there, look at the pricing, the international prices. If you're there and those are your competing, repackage yourself and of course stay informed. Look at, of course, your talents and skills, and look at your passion in terms of business, and make sure that it aligns with the strengths that you have. Identify market gaps. This is look for the gaps in the market. Recently there were changes in number plates of motor vehicles. And if you work on, I think it's the 3rd Ngong Avenue, there are small businesses there who fix the new number plates. They sell these plates that you fix the number plates. That was already a market gap that was created by the changeover from the old number plates to the new number plates. Those are some of the small, the gaps that you have in the market. Look at the needs that are there in the market, with those that need to be filled. You need to study your competitors so that you have that comparative or the competitive advantage, and then differentiate yourself from the other businesses. Look at the economic and the social trends that will create the new demands. So there are economic, there are social trends. TikTok was not part of us a year or two ago in the business world, but it is now part of us. It actually forms a lot of things, a lot in terms of getting your product out there. The influencers if you had talked about influencing, business influencing, social media influencing, nothing would have been said 5 years ago, but now it's a big thing. It sells out products. Look at the existing problems. We had talked about the problem, and of course, you need to address if there are issues that need to be addressed. You can evaluate the existing problems and create a solution. Network and attend events, ensure you do that. Adapt and pivot. These are the last 3 are some of my favorite, because they're more of new trends also. So be open at adapting your business idea based on feedback and changing circumstances. Flexibility is key to seizing evolving opportunities. And I have an example here. A few years ago, we would walk into studios, we take photos and wait, or the cameraman would come, take a photo and said, "Film my jaja." So he would go and go to those shops, get your photo after like a month, and then we would put them in albums. Times have changed, and now you can always take photos with our phones. You walk to a studio and it is printed. Some of us have the printers, they print their photos there. So you need to adapt. So the companies that never adapted, we've read about them, they never adapted, are aged out of the business world. Test and validate before fully committing. Put your idea or the opportunity on a small scale. This is technically testing it, putting out in the market, look at the results, validate the results by actually looking at the numbers that come through with them, and that is it. Look at the local and global factors, such as the regulation, trade policies, and consumer preferences. Other than us looking locally, that is looking more at the Kenya, the in-house aspect, we need also to explore other opportunities out of the country. I remember meeting the president of the American Black Chamber of Commerce, and it's different from AmCham, the American Chamber of Commerce. And this one looked at the Black community in America and has extended its wings to the UK and parts of Europe. Here they are opening an office in France, and they are very keen. They are very keen on the African aspect, like what product can we market for you abroad. So if you look at the external, look at the change in regulations, look at the trade policies, look at the issues such as the African Free Continental Trade Area, look at the opening up of the opening up of markets by the global canvassing that our trade ministry put, and of course the current government put. It's very important that that such factors, however, we call them the macro factors, they would narrow down to affect our micro factors, the small factors that we do that affect our business. So it's good to be open-minded, to read, to understand what goes on. What are the business opportunities other than this that we have that are just thinking outside the box? What are the business opportunities that we could food services like food trucks? Those are new concepts. We've seen a few food trucks. May get them right. Catering services. I've seen someone doing bakery. That is good. Cleaning services. We've had the traditional cleaning services. Those are the dry cleaners that we go. But there are other smaller scale cleaning services that fit to residential and commercial areas. Digital marketing, what has been done and has been mentioned by Biashara Africa, which helps the small business on all online presence, event planning, handmade crafts, mobile and real estate services, green and sustainable business. Let me dwell there a little bit. Eco-friendly businesses, the guy is doing good pets, that's an eco-friendly business, and especially when you go buy them. There are other businesses that are attractive in funding as long as you can demonstrate that they are green and sustainable businesses. There is recycling. There was an exhibition at the KICC, someone was doing tiles using plastic. Look at those. There is a lot of money in actually in zero wastage storage and zero wastage store, and actually recycling, and of course any other green smart project. Of course, e-commerce, we had said that, and then smart farming, where you have small pieces of land, you do all those smart farming projects, and of course, export of fresh produce, aggregation, and market linkages. So technically, I think let me rush through this. This is making to sum the presentation up. Then we'll take a number of questions. So this is, I'll just reiterate most of what Rachel had said, but it's a few things and few pointers. So when you want to make money as a small business, number one is to develop a strong value, proposition, so that you get to know, to put across what sets your business apart and unique from the others. Look at the quality of your product and your service. Make sure you build an online presence. You leverage on e-commerce. That one had been mentioned. You embrace innovation. Manage your finances well. And when managing your finances, there are almost three things. Number one, I'd say when you, as a small business, you need, first of all, to look at paying yourself. Number two, you need to create a savings culture. And number three, what is for business is for business. That one you should not know, and it's more self-explanatory. You need to continue learning whatever the new trends are in the market. You need to work on the adaptability and resilience. And you see, if you've been marketing your goods physically, you need to adapt to the online marketing, etc. You have to have resilience, build resilience for your company. Ensure that you comply with the regulations and any legalities that you have. Do not have KRA chasing you around. Pay your taxes. Make sure you network and collaborate. We will collaborate. We are here to collaborate as an authority. And finally, that is it. And, as I wind up, I need to mention a few things. The year 2023-2027 is an interesting year. The reason is that one of the pillar agendas for the new government is the MSME sector. And a lot has been laid down under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. And three issues that come quickly to my mind is one, decriminalization of work. So there are a number of initiatives by government, both the counties and the national government, in streamlining issues on where the small businesses sell their goods, how the licensing, etc. The second is, of course, the digital superhighway. We took advantage of that, and the Ministry of ICT has done a lot in terms of presence across the country of internet. Let's utilize that. And finally, of course, is the Hustler Fund. That is a financial inclusion fund, which changes the narrative. It creates disruption in the financial world. This is the movement. This is technically the movement of how the banks in future, the credit lenders in future will have to work. Why do I say this? There is a change from the credit rating system that we previously used. It was called credit information sharing, the CIS. So the CIS used credit rating. That means if you are an adult, you have a phone, you have a bank account, in one way or another, the credit referencing bureaus have had your data, and they would say that you've defaulted this loan, and since you've defaulted this loan, you go on a negative. It has shifted. It has had a paradigm shift from that to something called a social rating, which is actually a score. It's a credit score. So what it does is that it measures your behavior. So assuming you had started with 600 shillings like I did, and borrowed probably 4 or 5 times and repaid within that period. So a social trend is given by your behavior. So what it does technically is, after an end of a defined period, it raises your social score. If you had if the starting score was 100, so if it was after a month as the defined moment, it will give you probably a 200 score. So what would that do? It will definitely double the amount you can borrow. What it has proven in the last about this should be the 9th month, yes, is that a number of people have grown behaviorally to a better score. So people have gone up to 35,000 shillings. People started from maybe 1,500 or 600, have gone up to 35,000, simply because of their behavior, which no one goes checking. It is actually automatically generated. And what we do for the Hustler Fund as an authority is that we run a database. If you go to *254# or you go to the e-citizen platform, you would see that you have to register as an MSC or a group with themselves. So it is asked to verify your presence locally. So it's very good to hit our website. You look at what we do for the Hustler Fund, understand what the Hustler Fund does, not just for now, but even for posterity, for the continuity of your business. You need to look at this. Every time a year starts, look at your proposition as a business. Look at the previous sales of the previous year. Currently, there is a way we measure, and we say that if you make sales of up to 1 million shillings, you're a micro business. If you make sales of up to between 1 million shillings and 5 million, you are a small business. If you make sales of about 5 million, over 5 million to 250 million, you're a medium business. So technically what you need to do is to understand also your discipline and how you report. Just the way Rachel had said that it is all about record keeping. You understand that, then you grow it. We are here, and I think I'll still share the contacts of the authority. If you have any questions in terms of registration, in terms of any service that we provide, in terms of our presence in your locality, please feel free to get in touch. And with that and many remarks, thank you so much. I think I'll get it back to Rachel. You will moderate the questions, the questions if there are any. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kenneth. That was brilliant. Great stuff there. Before we get to Q&A, and you have so many questions, I think in future we'll organize another session. I would like to give an opportunity to your colleagues, Teresa and Enoch, and it's good you brought Enoch here because I would like him to comment around the Hustler Fund, how small businesses can increase their limits. I know we are waiting for the small business loans and the Hustler Fund, but even with the current personal loans, they can still, and you talked about that, Kenneth. I know Kemosop is very passionate about the Hustler Fund, so I'll allow him to make a comment around that. So we could start with Teresa. Please introduce yourself. You can make a comment, then we come to Enoch, and then I will read the questions. Hello, Teresa? Okay, we can go to Enoch if he's still with us.
I think we might have joined some other meeting we had at the office.
Okay, no
so
problem.
I can take up the questions, no problem.
Yes, I have a couple of questions actually for you. We'll just need to organize another session. There's actually need for that. Now, you talked of opportunities and the government's focus on MSMEs, digital highway, the Hustler Fund. Are there particular industries that the authority is considering to develop or promote small businesses in that industry? Maybe you could highlight if there's any. There's someone asking to just learn about KEOP. How can they enroll for the same? And then question around the storage facilities. Can a small business walk to any of them and use the facilities? You said also the cost is minimal, so I presume they'll get the rates from the facility. Maybe you could also comment on that. A couple of questions around CIDC. Their locations, does one just walk to any? It's good you give a contact so they can call the office. Maybe you could mention around that so we can answer those questions. Thank you.
So much. Number one, on the industries, all industries are covered, and in one way or another, if you don't get the industry directly from MCA, you can walk into any ministry. However, the new government has identified about 10 value chains. And the value chains, of course, I do not have them off my head. I wish I had written them down somewhere. But it's around leather. That is leather value addition. There is dairy. There is the green smart projects. Those are trees, all that. Quite a number. There are about 10 value chains that are identified under the new government. In the industries that initially we had, we of course did manufacturing, we did agribusiness, we've done trade, and we've done services. Technically, it covers each and every industry that has to be there. The only qualification that your industry has to have is that it has to be a small business. So when it's a small business, that is our business. Number two, KOP is the Kenya Youth Employment Opportunities Project is coming to an end. We are winding up, and by December, I believe the persons who had actually be identified will be given money. However, look out for the Nyota project from 15th of August. That is a week from now. Our website is MSEA, www.msea.go.ke. Everything is usually put there. Look out for the Nyota project. Expect when it is advertised, ensure you apply. That is for the youth that meet the criteria. For the storage facilities, yes, anyone can walk in there. That is your money. That is the taxes you pay. So anyone can walk in there, but my advice is that you aggregate so that you move the volumes. So if you are in any of the locations, that is in Olkalau, Nyandarua, in Meru, and in Kisii, if you're in any of those locations, you get there. I believe you'll get some assistance. We hope to deploy staff for Kisii and Meru, but Olkalau, there should be someone there already. You walk in there, the storage facilities are your facilities. The rates that I'm talking about they are very minimal. They're minimal. The reason is you do not pay for rent for the space. What you technically do as a members in there, you just cater for the utility bills. That is electricity and water. And if the water is rainwater, for instance, for some of the CIDCs that are blessed in rain-fed areas, you don't pay for the water, you just pay for the electricity. So it's minimal. So if you have a bill of 300 shillings, probably, and your 4 or 5, you divide amongst yourself. Same as the CIDCs, we have 178 across the country. And I have seen a question from Busia. Busia, yes, there is a CIDC in Busia. And specifically, you can find the specific, you'll contact us, we'll give you the person in charge of there. There is an officer who is resident in the county. So you can contact us, you can contact myself or the authority, and you'll be guided. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenneth. I think well answered. We'll definitely organize for similar sessions. We have quite a bit. I can see we are 15 minutes late. So I would and Kimaso, I'm trying to unmute you. For some reason, it just not accepting. Just try. If it succeeds, well and good. But we'll definitely, Kenneth, organize another session, a more detailed one, for them to learn about opportunities they can tap from MSEA. Allow me, because of time, we need to end now. We are 15 minutes beyond the scheduled time, and I would encourage, as we plan for next week, please join early. Before we start the session, we'll be giving 5 people to introduce themselves, their businesses, and also to ask questions to the presenters. So next time, I've displayed the next 5 sessions. So next time, we'll be talking about small business financing. Again, come early. We'll start on time. We'll give 5 businesses an opportunity to introduce themselves, ask questions directly to the presenters. So we'll have Deloitte discuss financing options. We'll have Biashara talk about debt financing. We'll have Victoria Ventures, who will talk to us about equity financing. We have 2 groups we've been helping to get financing, grant and equity, and we noted a gap there. So this year we decided to invite Victoria Ventures, who focus on that area, to educate you on opportunities for you to sell ownership in exchange of capital to investors. We'll have ASEC and we do, and that's we had Maurice, not sure whether he's still with us. He'll be talking to us about grants, funding. Most of you have been asking about that. He'll also talk to us about grants given by We Do Africa is a project of GIZ. So we are bringing them on board to give you more opportunities for grants. So you must attend next week. And then we'll have other sessions, managing customers, customer debts the next week. We have ways of getting paid, payment options, record and bookkeeping, managing finances as a small business. So those are the sessions that are planned for. You will use the same link you've used today. I noted we are getting many messages that a number of business owners who are not able to join us because of connectivity or the link. Please note that you'll use this link for all the sessions. I would encourage you to also invite another small business owner. Remember, we say there's small businesses we need to get used to or get involved in social causes, is it? You benefited from this, please pull along 1, 2, or 3. Invite them to join this meeting. You can share the same link for them to join. The other thing you've been asking about the slides, about the recording, we will share this on our social media platforms. We'll also share on WhatsApp. Please, I would encourage you to follow our social media platforms also for ease. Always we share on WhatsApp. Sometimes some of you don't get or don't check, not sure. So when you're following us on social media platforms, it becomes easy. I'll just project. It becomes easy for you to get these updates. You can also check our website. We have a page for events. I don't know why some of you were only viewing events that past events. We are still checking on that, but to know at all times we have a minimum of 10 plus events and opportunities for small businesses, and most of them are free opportunities. Some are provided by Biashara Africa, others by our partners or other players within the MME sector. So please ensure that you follow us on our social media platforms. I'm going to display, I hope it loads fast this time, to display our handles so that then you can follow us for regular updates and timely updates. Yeah, so that's all from our end. We will note all the questions. We have not answered all your questions. So as we move along, we'll keep answering your questions. We'll also organize another session with the MSEA team. They are our regulator and they're the ones who put the work we do. So we'll definitely have another session where they can go deeper into even some of the questions you're asking. Where is my nearest CIDC? Which machines are where, if I'm in this business, can I access this machine? Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone. To Kenneth, Kimosop, have you managed to unmute? Not yet. Okay, don't worry. We'll have that sorted next time. So to Kenneth, Cheriot, and your team, a big thank you. Thank you for making time for a brilliant presentation. We'll definitely have many more of this conversation. To our small business owners and entrepreneurs, thank you, and we congratulate you for the great work you're doing on the ground and impacting your communities, creating jobs, and you're doing amazing work. As we bring our top participants of the Small Business Awards, you'll be encouraged by how much small businesses are doing on the ground. So we'll keep supporting you to grow, to get financing, any other support you need, we are there for you. And we only focus on small businesses to make sure that you grow. Thank you so much for being with us. We are very grateful. See you next week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. to 11:30. Please be punctual. We have a lot to discuss next week. Until then, have a lovely time. It's bye-bye from my end.